October Chat and Chew. I'm Chandra Southern. I'm the co-president for the 2016-2017 year. And can we introduce our other officers?
I'm Chandra Smith, and I'm also co-president for the 2016-2017.
Hi, and I'm Nicole Oblise. I'm one of the co-vice presidents.
And we would like to welcome our principal this evening. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Dr. Watkins, the principal, happy to be here.
And then we have our special guests that are here with us this evening, Miss Lanessa. See, I get Lanessa Pettigrew, and Sheila, her top #1 employee. And tonight we're going to talk about the program that she's involved with. That is our Homes for Heroes.
Yes.
And she's going to give you a little bit of information about that. So I'm going to turn it over to her to let her go ahead and speak, and then we'll come it up. Okay. Yes, go ahead. It's on you. It's on you.
I think stand will be better.
Okay.
Good evening, and thank you guys for having me. It is such a pleasure. I am excited to be here at Cooper, which is one of our partner schools. I respect Dr. Watkins, and she has a great reputation in the community, and to say that we are a community-based firm. I've been in the business for 18 years, and I started a firm 6 years ago that is based on giving back to the community. And one of the things that we do for the community is we're affiliated with the national program called Homes for Heroes. And the Homes for Heroes program started after 9/11, when there were so many people who were lost their homes or lost loved ones and needed to get into homes. So a group of agents decided that they wanted to give back, and their way of doing that is saying, we'll give you 25% of our commission to help you with the purchase, or to give you a check to say thank you for your services, your sacrifices. So with that being near and dear to my heart, I decided that I wanted to participate in that program, as well as other programs that we're involved with in the community. Some of the other things that we do is Meals on Wheels, mentoring, pretty much anything that's community oriented. Pettigrew Realty is involved. But to go back to the Homes for Heroes, the criteria, people ask, how do I qualify? The only qualification that you need is to be a hero. And a hero is considered an educator, EMT, firefighter, police officer, first responder, someone who works in the healthcare industry, and am I missing anyone? Veterans, of course. Our veterans, military, active or retired veterans. So what we do is we now give, at closing, 25% of our commission to say thank you, and to allow the hero to do whatever they want with the money. So you can do whatever you want with the money. And what we've tried to get the word out as much as we can, and so many people keep it, they say keep it like they don't want to tell anyone when they find out about the program. But, the worst thing that we hear is, oh, I wish I would have known about the program 2 months ago, or I wish I would have known about it last year. So what we want to do is just get the word out that it is a program that you do not have to qualify for. We have a team that we put together, which is our closing attorney, who also is a veteran. She gives back. She discounts her closing fees at closing. We have an inspector who gives a 25% off of the inspectors to say thank you. We're partnered with ADT, who gives back. We're partnered with Liberty Mutual, who gives back. So we have a partnership, and the savings is tremendous. And basically, we just want to let everyone know it's no pressures. It's a service that we give. We're not the real estate agents who are out saying, let me sell your house. We want to provide you a service. And with that, we want to be able to say thank you and to give back. And we do have funds set aside that we give to the Heroes program. It's a foundation where if a hero falls short on their mortgage, or if they need a ramp built on their home, whatever, they can apply for these funds that we put into a portion as well to say, we're about to lose our house, we just need a couple of months payments, whatever, to get us where we need to be. They can utilize those funds. So it's a lot of things that are out there that a lot of us do not know anything about, but I think it's well worth looking into and taking advantage of. Does anyone have any questions before I continue on? I know you guys came in a little late, and I am talking about the Homes for Heroes program through our real estate program. It is a national program that we're involved with. Does anyone have any questions? No? Ask.
I was trying to figure out how it's gonna work.
Okay.
So if you're, the individual, your buyer that you're working with, and they are a hero, but let's just say they were pre-qualified through a different mortgage or loan processor, would they still be able to take on the discounts of the other individual?
Yeah, you can, I mean, of course, as an agent, we can't tell you who to go through. We can suggest our partners, but, you know, I've had agents, buyers who go through their credit union or, you know, whoever else. But we just ask them, you know, if you want the discounts, use those who have committed to giving back to you. But of course, you have that choice, even with the inspector or who you want to close with. It's just pretty much up to that individual. We just wanted to bring a community together to say we're willing to do this for you.
Do we have a soft copy of this flyer?
I can,
Can you get, yeah, because I'll be more than happy to. We can, I think when people see the flyer, it's a little bit more, you know, they'll see more into it as opposed to like a link, so. if you have the flyer, yeah.
Definitely, I can get that to you.
Okay.
We can put them in the front office as well,
Okay,
and then there's like an acrylic little folder that holds flyers,
Okay.
and we can also put it on our website.
okay.
And one of the other things that we do is, because we are community oriented, our website is a lot different than your average real estate company's website. If you are looking for something to do in the community, go to PettigrewRealty.com. If you want to do apple picking, if you want to go to a festival, whatever you want to do, it's on there for you. We try to keep everything updated so that you can see what's going on. And these are refrigerator magnets. You can stick them on your refrigerator and just kind of keep up with what's going on. And it's a way to also just kind of show you what we're doing as well in the community, because we post everything that we're doing for the community. So, and I just want to give a quick testimony, and it's kind of off topic, or it's still on topic. But last week was Safety Appreciation Week, and we had, through the Chamber of Commerce, we had this big breakfast for all the safety folks up at the Cobb Galleria. And you know, we don't hear all the good things that are going on with the police officers, but you know, a lot of awards were given and appreciation, which, you know, I'm very proud of our police officers, Cobb County, Powder Springs, Austell. I know them quite well because they are our heroes as well, so I do speak with them. But later on that evening, well, afternoon, I was headed to the bank and had my mind on something totally different. Took the wrong turn, went down Macedonia, and I see one of my Meals on Wheels guys just strolling down the street, down the sidewalk, you know, with a tiller. And I'm like, oh gosh, I know he's not supposed to be out here by himself. He should be, you know, out of his home. So I flagged down one of the cops, and I was kind of nervous because Mr. B does have dementia. And so the cop was able to, and I stood there trying to make sure, you know, everything stayed calm. But the cop was very, you know, receptive and polite, and actually walked the tiller and him back home. We had an appreciation at the council at the city of Powder Springs, and this Lieutenant Wilkie was there, and I was able to just show him appreciation. And he had said he was at the breakfast that morning too. So it's just a good thing to know who's in your community, what's going on in your community, because it would have just, I don't know what I would have done if I would have read that Mr. B was somewhere lost or something had happened to him. But, you know, I always think we go down certain roads, you know, for a reason, and that's in life. But I'm so glad I took the wrong turn and saw him that day. But just to show, you know, how important the community our community is, and we all should be involved and participating in what's going on in our community. Sheila, do you have anything you would like to add?
Well, we had a great time too at the Teacher of the Year ceremony.
Yes.
So
The
we went to
Strand,
that,
I don't know if any of you guys made it to the Strand Theater last week where they had the Teacher of the Year.
They had
the handprints.
No, they have the big ceremony for all the teachers of the year in
Next.
2 weeks.
Yes, we're gonna be
So
there
we'll
too.
be there.
But we were at the Strand and it was just amazing. It was amazing.
In downtown, in the square, in Marietta Square, they have a section where all the teachers from Marietta City Schools and Cobb County Schools, the Teacher of the Year, get to put their handprints.
Oh,
So it's
amazing.
there.
Yes,
forever.
we
It's for the whole county,
And-
the people who won for the county.
Yes,
Yes.
and for Marietta City Schools
Yes.
as a separate entity, and it was great, and they each had their students there.
Yes.
So it was just so much fun to really see how excited the kids were, and some of the kids had made posters and pictures of their teacher, and
Yeah, and we love our teachers. Oh my gosh, do we love our teachers. We absolutely love our teachers. I have 3 who came through, unfortunately they went through TAP. But they're at McEachern, well, our last one is at McEachern, but they've all gone through school here. And I know the impact that teachers, principals have had on not only my children's lives, but my life as well, just being that second kind of parent and that person who I know is nurturing and taking care of my child. So we absolutely love our teachers.
to constantly, it's hard as a parent to, constantly nurture your child, as you said, but then as a teacher, it's twice as hard because you have so many
Yeah.
that you have to nurture and that you have to notice their special pieces of them, and so it's got to be a very, very challenging job, for sure.
Well, thank you guys for having me. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'll point you in the direction. I am full of resources, I can tell you that. So if you need a pediatrician or whatever.
I see Sheila's contact information here.
I have cards. So yeah, but yeah, anything you want to know, I'm out there involved, know pretty much a lot of people. And I like to connect. That's one of the things that I'm big on is networking, and I like to connect people with people.
To brag on Lanessa for a moment, she actually helped a young girl who was an author and has already published launch her second book. She actually goes to McEachern now.
And she's
talking about-
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Brooke,
Dr. Watkins is in the book.
Yes, you're talking about Brooklyn.
Yes. It was a success. It was wonderful. I am now Brooklyn's auntie. But it was a lot of hard work. I ran into her mom and she begged me to please help promote. I'm like, I don't have time. And she was like, yes, you do. I was like, okay. I really didn't have time, but we pulled it off in a short period of time. It was wonderful. A great experience
Yeah,
for
she
the
had me
kids.
read it for her this summer.
Did she?
And then, we're gonna have it in our library as well.
Awesome,
So we're
awesome.
trying to step on the book signing or something.
Awesome. So yeah, she's also, Brooklyn has agreed to do some speaking at some of the mentoring that we're gonna do about bullying and different topics. So
Good.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
and I was gonna say, would you like to explain to them about your new mentoring program that you're gonna be doing?
Yes. So one of the other schools that Pettigrew Realty has partnered with is Skyview, which is an alternative school. And we have agreed to go in and mentor the young girls there. And Chandra is my captain. I'm coming to her for just guidance. But we're excited about that. And just want to make a difference and I think we all can play a part. And just a little bit of my history. I grew up in the country, rural part of Athens, and I went to UGA, and my grandmother and her sister bought 89 acres of land in the 1940s. How they did it, I don't know, but they did. But her vision was to leave a legacy for her children's children. And so all my aunts, uncles, everybody lived next door, up the street, And so when I got to UGA and I was in the School of Social Work, I didn't understand homelessness because I'm thinking if mama don't want to cook, we go to Aunt Betty's or, you know, at 19, I just couldn't fathom the thought of homelessness. And so when I got in there, I helped, we went to Kenny Rogers Farm, we did a whole big event to raise money for the Athens area homeless shelter, and I was a part of that. And so with that, it allowed me to have compassion for other people and to understand that everybody doesn't have an Aunt Betty to go to, or everybody, you know. And even with my grandmother, she used to call me Miss America, and she used to call my girlfriend Miss Universe, but I used to be mad. I'm like, why can I be Miss Universe? She's like, no, you're Miss America. So anyway, but my grandmother thought that I could walk on water. There was nothing that I could do. And so having that instilled in me at a young age and having that family to nurture and believe in me, and I know that everyone doesn't have that. And even with my own children, certain child, you got to really be careful with what you say because she's going to take it to heart. You know, the other one will brush it off, but, you know, you just have to be mindful of the words that come out of your mouth. And so with that, I'm like, you know, I want to be, even with my agents, I mentor, I coach them, I expose them to different things, and I'm like, you know what, we need to take it to another level and do that to our children and be responsible because to give our children a sense of community, because I think that's what's lacking, is that the children don't realize that this is your community. It's not their community, this is our community. It belongs to all of us and to be a part of it. One of the things that we made our children do at a young age was they had to go out and pick out their favorite Christmas gifts, wrap it, and we take it to the homeless shelter. I mean, and that brought them so much joy to know that we're not going to the Dollar Tree to get some plastic ball. We're going to get something that you like, something that you want, and we're going to give it away. And that feeling of gratitude and knowing how that feels to be able to give to someone else who's less fortunate. So I take very, very much pride in doing that. So yeah, I'm excited about the mentoring program with Dr. Kelly and what the girls on my team have in mind with doing with them and how we want to build their self-esteem, self-respect, and build a sisterhood, because that's what it's about. When it comes to young girls, we need to be a sister. We need to be a sisterhood.
Do you offer, in your agency, do you offer education for individuals that may be interested in becoming a realtor?
Oh yeah, I am partnered with a school. It's a web school. You can go online and take the classes. I am actually in the process to become an instructor, which is going to be great because I love to teach, and I love real estate. So anything about real estate, ask me. But that that piece, it is available. And I do have a couple of people who are going through the school now who wants to be agents. And every agent that I've co-op with, they know that I'm here, whether you're a Pettigrew Realty or not. You can't get your broker. They know they can get me because I answer my phone, I answer my emails, and I don't mind sharing information because I believe there's enough business for everybody. So any questions or anything that you want to know, I have no problem giving you the resources and telling you how to go about doing it. Thank y'all so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
For all of our individuals that just came in a little late, I'm not sure if you had any specific questions that you wanted to ask her, and I'm sure she wouldn't mind if she has to go back over.
No.
I know y'all are like, we came in at the last minute, we kind of walked in, but it's an opportunity, open forum for you to be able to ask any questions that you may have of her while she's here. I don't want her to leave and you say, I wish I had asked her. So don't be afraid.
I think too, as just real estate agents, sometimes it's nice just to have the opportunity to say, you know, how does a neighborhood change, or how does a neighborhood develop, or, you know, we're renting, or we're own, or we're ready to do something, you know, just to have someone to ask questions of. We'll be happy to do that, you know, because whether it's the 5th time you're buying a house or the first time you're buying a house, there's always something different, and there's always something different about every community. So, you know, when you're looking at houses right around here, there's so many great houses and great finds. But I've had several people say, well, what's does it matter that there's a gas station at the end of the road? Those sorts of things, so.
We were outdoor knocking recently, and we had a question, a guy who's interested in selling his home, and he wanted to know about the flood, which we get that a lot.
Yeah.
And even with buyers, when they found out that this house was in that flood zone, the first question is, do I have to have flood insurance? No, because it's not a flood zone. This is the whatever 500-year, 100-year, whatever flood that happened. It's not a yearly or every 2 or 3 year thing. But those are the questions that we get. And we try to make sure we know before we go into a community everything about that community so we can tell you about the community. And the other thing is our office is in the Cobb Galleria area. So we have homeowners here saying, should we just go ahead and sell and head to Woodstock? Because everybody's going to be, running from the Galleria area to come this way. Which is they're going to run from traffic. So we tell homeowners, if you are looking at leaving this area, this is probably the best time to do it because people are going to start wanting to push and move towards this end.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, just to see, like, how does the Brave Stadium affect real estate? There's condos in that area that were on the market for about $150,000. And as soon as they broke ground for the Brave Stadium, they're now selling for $350,000.
Yeah, there's no way you're going to live in Smyrna without in the 350s and up. I mean, it's just not going to happen.
It raised Smyrna's overall prices tremendously, so it helped. Now, of course, then there's the negative of the taxes, but also traffic. So a lot of people are wondering how that's going to be affected. And all I can say is I've actually worked with some of the engineers that are working on the 75 corridor switch around, and they said that it's really going to be able to move people through there. So the whole key is how are they going to connect that interstate into that area and get people in and out.
There's a website too, I can't think of the name, but you can go on and see all the activity, all the updates, everything that's going on, how it's related to everything, because they're not putting everything on the news, of what's going on, so.
And does anybody like football?
Yes.
They're making a new Falcon Stadium downtown as well, and I actually just so happened to talk to a gentleman this weekend who's the safety manager for that, and he said it's going up super fast, it's gorgeous, it's going to be great when it's finished. So I was really pleased to hear positive things from the safety guy. You usually never hear anything positive from the safety guy,
And I actually think they might be working almost 24 hours a day on it. Because every time I've gone over there, what time of day is there someone that's actually working?
Yes.
We had season tickets to the Falcons. I'm a huge Falcon fan and a UGA fan. I mean, Sunday was like heaven for me when both teams played Sunday, and they both won, and I got breakfast in bed. I'm like, does it get any better than this? But I don't even know what I'm saying, but anyway. Oh, with the Falcon Stadium. My thing was, we didn't buy season tickets for the new stadium because we're like, okay, what's the whole point? And no one is really talking about why we're getting a new stadium. That stadium,
It's not that old.
but it's not structurally sound.
Oh.
It is not. It is not structurally sound. In about 5 years, it's going to come tumbling down. And
The old one?
That's not. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The old one that is beautiful now, and so we're sitting in the stadium like, Lord, not today. Let us just get through today. Don't let it crumble today. But yeah, that's the thing, and that's what you don't hear a lot about. Even I love Atlantic Station. That's like my dream home away from home. I feel like I'm in a whole nother city. But the houses were built on a landfill, and they're like this. They're going to be leaning. And so those are things that you need to know. And a lot of times realtors, and I'm not going to say realtors, but a lot of times the due diligence is not there to actually know where you're buying, what you're buying, and is it structurally sound. But yeah, that's the whole deal with the football stadium. It's definitely not structurally sound.
And because this is what we love and this is what we're interested in, we actually are talking to people all the time about what is going on, what's being built, who are the people that are coming into the city because of it.
Yes.
All of those
Very
things.
involved with the chamber because that's where all that information comes with businesses coming in and understanding. the who's who and what's doing, who's doing what, in our community, because it affects us all. I mean, I don't know if anyone lives on Macklin in the Vineyard Place where the cemetery's coming up. That should have been known before they started digging ground, that you guys knew that there was a cemetery coming up behind your house. I mean, it's too late to protest now, but it's things like that. It's things like that. We don't get out and go to our city council meetings. I'm going to preach now a little bit. But we don't go out and get involved with the community to know what's going on. And then when your taxes are raised, then it's like, okay, y'all, let's talk now. No, it's too late. It's too late now. So, yeah. So I just encourage everybody to just go to a city hall meeting or a council meeting just to know what's going on in the community and be a part of it.
I'm trying to ask questions for those that may not want to ask.
Okay,
I'm a
go
realtor
ahead.
also, but this is her time, but I'm asking the questions in case somebody has a question that they want to have answered. So would you explain to them like the type of market that we're actually in right now for those that may be interested in buying?
Okay, so we are in a seller's market. And we are in a seller's market, and I tell sellers, if your home is ready to go, I mean, move in ready, get ready for multiple offers and be packed up. Because it is a seller's market, because there are still some people who are a little upside down and can't sell right now. There are people who are kind of like, jump in, should I sell? I'm scared, I don't know what to do. So the inventory is so low. We have so many buyers, and they're competing. If one buyer loves this house, 10 others. She just wrote, we were headed to a Real Estate Connection networking event Thursday. She was in the car talking to her buyer to say, listen, let's overbid $3,000 and you pay all your own closing costs. Because it was that competitive, and that you won the deal, because it's like, if you really want it, you gotta go over and above the asking price to compete. So it is a seller's market, and that part, if you're, a buyer, I just say be prepared, be ready to think outside the box, have all your, ducks in a row to say if you have to pay your closing costs, be prepared, or if you have to go up a couple of thousands over asking price, be prepared to do that as well.
And so the Homes for Heroes, you want to just recap?
Okay. Awesome. So the Homes for Heroes program is a national program started after 9/11, and it's a way that we as agents say we're going to give back to the hero for being an educator, military, retired or active, firefighter, first responder, healthcare worker, police officer. We give you 25% of our commission in the form of a check for you to do whatever you want. And I will say this, we are trying to figure out how we can, for parents of Cooper, if you're not a hero, for us to be able to take a portion of our commission to give it to the Cooper Foundation. And that's what we're thinking about, trying to figure out how we can do that and be able to give back in that way to Cooper. So that's something that we're working on, and we're definitely trying to put in place so that any families who use our services, we can use a portion of our commission to say we'll give back to the foundation. Yes.
So this check, this 25% goes to
the buyer.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So if you're a veteran, as soon as it closes, then a check
we
will
have to
come
send
you
it to the
for
Homes
that.
for Heroes home office, because we can't personally give you the check, and then they in return. So you'll have it like a week after closing. And you can, most people buy refrigerators,
Sofa.
furniture, whatever they want to do, because it usually average out to about $1,400 and over of what you're getting, which is a nice chunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
Exactly, yeah, especially when you're buying a house,
And-
so
and
it is.
The big thing is that even if you're not necessarily a hero, if you'd share the information with people, because we really want to make sure that everybody is getting the benefit of this.
Definitely, most definitely.
And with only 2 mouths, although we can both talk, that with only 2 mouths, it doesn't get around as far.
We get around, we make our way. But yeah, that would help, just to spread the word out, because we think it's a great program.
Do you have to be Like, do you have to be the realtor, or we already have a realtor?
Well, if your realtor is not a part of that program, then they can't do it. I mean, it's Home for Heroes is a trademark national company, so that agent would have to be a part of that program. So y'all help yourself with pizza and some water and tea if you'd like. And I'll hang around if you have any more questions. Thank you.
We would like to thank Lanessa. Okay, so if Dr. Watkins would like to come for a few moments to update.
Thank you, Vanessa. We really appreciate you.
Oh, definitely. I appreciate you guys.
One of our partners.